Going by some numbers that were released way back from a study in March of 2018, it looked like at that time 625 homeless people were counted in the region, 144 of those kids under the age of 16. Distressing numbers when you consider the size of our region. Here to talk a little bit about the homeless, we have Susan Venditti. She is a director at Start Me Up Niagara. Welcome, Susan.
Good morning, Michael.
When we look at those numbers from that study in March of 2018, Susan, how much have things changed over the 2+ years since then?
The big thing that's changed is the focus that people actually have on homelessness now as an issue, and the plans that are in place both at the regional and provincial level to actually start cutting into the numbers by organizing a system so that they're actually serving the people that are homeless in a systematic way. So I think that the attention across the whole of Southern Ontario on reducing the numbers of homelessness is actually going to have an impact. I know in 2018 I also coordinate the Out of the Cold overnights, and I know in 2018 it was like a tsunami of issues that hit. It was also very closely tied in with the opioid crisis that hit at the same time. The numbers at Out of the Cold doubled in 2018, and you can compare those to the numbers that actually the admissions to the emergency for overdose, it doubled about that time too. Last year, we started to see a decline. There were more beds available. Our numbers dropped into the 50s, where they had been in the 60s, 70s, 80s sometimes. So I think that the services have actually been upgraded. So we've got more hostel beds. We've got more people in single room occupancies. There's a real attention to it.
Susan, under COVID-19 and all of these restrictions, how has that changed the programs and services that Start Me Up Niagara can offer?
We were seeing about 150 people every day. We cannot possibly do that anymore. So at this time, we have moved over to Westminster United Church, and we are just focusing on people who are absolutely homeless. So to come to Westminster Church between 12 and 6 every day of the week, 7 days a week, you actually have to be homeless. And we've got 3 workers there trying to get you hooked up with income, your other basic needs, and housing. But we're not able to serve the people that we were serving before. And I'm actually really concerned about those people because they're the people that really count on social connectedness. And some of the stranger things that are happening is even at some of our feeding programs, the numbers have actually dropped because I think people without housing or people that are precariously housed, they're also worried about social distancing and all the rest. So yeah, I'm definitely worried about the people that we were providing sort of that social connectedness to that we can't do anymore.
It's Mental Health Week this week, and of course we all need to take a moment during this week to reflect on our own mental wellness. But here in my home, I have my family, I have my surroundings, I can sit down on a comfortable couch. Homeless people don't have those options, and it must be extremely difficult for them during this time.
If you are outside and you've got no place to go, and you're not actually even welcome to hang around in public spaces, it's a huge problem. And we are seeing people sort of clumping together and, just trying to maintain some sort of order to their lives. But the vulnerable get more vulnerable in a crisis like this.
Perhaps this current situation is a wake-up call for all of us to consider what we can do to help the homeless and what services need to be created and changed for the future.
Well, what I see is people really stepped up fast and made a lot of accommodation available to folks. We could continue that going forward into the future. When there was an emergency, all of a sudden there was a lot of programs came on board to help folks. This is a very solvable problem. So let's hope that these solutions carry forward. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the folks. We need people. We need people housed.
Thanks for your time today, Susan, and thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Michael.
Susan Venditti from Start Me Up Niagara joining us on The Source. Back in just a moment with more.